Hello, everyone. This is Jacob Owen, Systems Engineer for Aruba here in Indiana. I just wanted to take some time today to go through Aruba Central's Visual RF tool. This is very similar to the one that was provided in our Airwave network management product, but obviously it's been converted into use in the cloud. Visual RF is our ability to pull in floor maps, place APs, identify client location, and it really helps customers understand, what the RF in an environment looks like. Even allows the planning of APs. So if you have a floor plan for an upcoming building, you can put them in and let Visual RF kind of decide based on client density and performance required for the client where the AP should go and how many APs it will take. So first thing we're going to do is we need to have a central account, which I've got my central account up here. And we go into all devices, global, overview, and then we go into Visual RF. So from here, we are going to set up a new campus. I like using a campus because it helps me, if I have multiple buildings, I can just put them under a single campus, kind of cleans it up versus having, a bunch of different devices on the main map. So we go in campus 1, we're going to go in now, and we're going to set up a new building. We would need a building, obviously, if there were multiple floors. We can do individual floors on this page, but I like to put them inside of a building, just another level of hierarchy. We're going to assume the ceiling height in these buildings are about 10 feet, which is standard. And then the attenuation, that's the amount of loss between the floors. That's completely dependent on the type of material that's between the floors. For right now, we're just going to use 10, but if you had a newer or an older building, that material between the floors, might change that value. So I want to save that. Go into the building, and now we're going to do right-click, go to New Floor Plan. So the first thing we'll do is we're going to find the image file that we're going to use. So in this case, we're going to pull that guy in. It's going to be in Campus 1. It's going to be in Building 1. The floor name is Floor 1. The floor number is 1.0. Obviously, that would increment as you added more floors on top of this. Okay, so here's the floor plan. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to need to set scale. So we're going to use this little measuring tool right here, and we're going to measure a known area across here, which I'm just going to use this to this, which is 14 feet. So we're going to put in 14. This is now going to set the scale for the entire network at 57 feet wide by about 50 feet high. Next, we're going to set up our region. In this case, I'm just going to set the region as around the outside of this building. It can be a little I click first point to the shape, kind of tries. We'll go down here, we're going to click here. And once we click on the first point we started with, it'll close off the region. So now we have the region defined. I'll click next. We don't have any walls to import with CAD. If we did, we would obviously put in the layers. Next, here we can actually plan APs, or we can add deployed APs. So if we wanted to plan APs, we would just have to specify the AP type we wanted to use, the amount of APs, and then the density, or whether it was going to be a low density deployment, high density, and then what the performance was. So these are all sliders we can use. Then we just hit add APs to floor plan. In this case, it's telling us for this size area, we only need a single AP to cover it. But if we were to go to a much higher or a much But there's all this information, max clients, clients per AP, what's, is it a open space, is it concrete walls? Obviously, as you change this, the settings up here begin to change because we calculate AP count, and we'd say that this area, because it's consisted of mainly concrete walls, which it doesn't, but we're just doing this for this test, it would need 4 APs to cover this space. And we could actually add APs to the floor plan, and it would actually put them where it believed they needed to be. In this case, we're not going to do that. We're going to add pre-deployed APs. So these APs are already in my environment. I just need to pull them and put them where they need to go. I'll put this in the breakfast nook. I'm going to put this one in the playroom and the bedroom. And then we're going to put one more in the dining room. And actually, let's move this one into the living room. Okay, so now those have already been, there's a second story in this building. I'm not going to put it as part of this, but we'll go through the process of what that would look like when we get done with this. So now we're going to finish this. And now we have our nice little APs, and give it a couple seconds and it will start to populate. I like to click around and make it refresh so that it will start to go back into the campus. Yeah, it just takes some time to pull in the data. You can use a little refresh icon. There we go. Okay, so now we have more than enough coverage. If we wanted to, we could actually go through here and draw walls. So if we wanted to, draw a certain wall, we could do that. We would just, determine where the wall was going to go. And then we would right-click on it. First off, we'd pick the properties. So once we've created the wall, we'd pick the properties and determine what it's going to be. Is it drywall? Is it glass? In this case, we're going to call it drywall. But we could do that throughout this environment, and that's going to give us, closer to an accurate representation of what, type of, what the RF would be, in this building. We'll just do this. Do this. And one more wall here, one more wall here. Even though this isn't, we'll call this open, so it looks like an open room. And then on the outside, we're just going to assume this has a concrete outer wall, which it doesn't, but for this we will, just because it makes it easy to close them off. So this is the exterior of the building. What you're going to start to see, the signal is changing. Okay. So now you can see we've actually, so we've got a 45 dBm cutoff, so we can actually start to see the different colors in here. You can actually see where the signal is. You'll see because we put the walls in now, the 5 gigahertz doesn't quite go as far. Now 2.4 I think is still blasting. Yeah, it's quite a bit, but I've got the radios cranked up. But as you can see here, there's already clients now showing up. You know, they're showing up where they're at on the map. So we'll be able to, you know, use this and identify where devices are with the, you know. So if we wanted to add another floor to this building, I would just go in here, I'd right click, actually I'd right click out here, and I'd say new floor plan, but instead of the floor name being 1 and 1.0, it would be 2 and 2.0. So this is how we can just stack another device either above or below this, or if there's a basement or something like that, we can do it that way. So that's kind of how visual RF works. The other nice thing is as devices begin to populate, when you look at client data, you know, for some of my wireless devices, you can actually see on a map where they're actually connected to. So let me go into my home. We're going to go into wireless devices. Now I don't know. Or okay, we'll go to one of the spare bedroom ASP. So we'll click on this guy right here. Okay, so you can actually see now that it's populated its location based on the visual RF that I just put in there. So it's just another piece of information where we can use to pull events about devices and where they're connected. So hopefully you've done this useful. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. And I look forward to doing another video and talking to you soon.